Zack Jackson covers the Browns, NFL writer for The Athletic, joining us on this Monday. What's the morale at camp there today, Zack?
Well, we don't see anything until the afternoon, Dan, but You have to think it's positive. I mean, this is mostly what the Browns expected. I think it drug out a little longer, and we certainly have the uncertainty with an NFL appeal. But, from a football standpoint, this would be a win for the Browns, who never did it for this year, who always knew to some level what they were taking on, right? But the NFL didn't accidentally let it leak out back in the last 6-8 weeks that they wanted an indefinite suspension, right? So for it to be 6, for Watson's side and the NFLPA to have probably, chalk up the hearing as a win and make this as a win, then it's certainly a win for the Browns, who think they're pretty good and wouldn't have done this otherwise.
The reaction locally, fans who show up at camp with Deshaun Watson has been what?
Fine. Now, there's only been one day of open camp, and it was kind of muted, but no protesters, nothing I heard. The team has been very coordinated but subtle and using social media to get him out there. He's only been made available twice to reporters. Both press conferences have been bad, and the second one was short, right? But, I don't know what the overall negative reaction will be, and certainly some of my readers right away broke up with the Browns. But I think as far as being here and judging this morning, judging the last few weeks of Browns fans and people invested here, I think it's been positive to Deshaun Watson, and I think it's a belief that this will eventually go away and that people will support him. I know that's what the team has thought going way back. So I think this was longer and more drawn out than anyone expected, but I think the Browns always were prepared to some level for this.
Got a question for Deshaun Watson that you would want him to answer?
That I haven't thought about that because he hasn't really directly answered anything, and we also haven't been able to ask him any football questions, right? So he has maintained his innocence, and he's been direct in doing that. Now, the ruling obviously is in conflict with that, and some of it was out there. But I just go back, Dan, to this trade was made, on Friday in mid-March. The NFL owners' meetings were a couple of weeks later. This was construed to us off the record and, just in ways things go as this was kind of going to be the outcome, that Deshaun Watson made some mistakes but didn't do anything, really over the top, and that the team was going to swallow this. There was a sense of desperation here. Obviously, when you and I last talked, it was pretty clear they were going to break up with Baker Mayfield. You're never getting this player if these circumstances aren't out there, right? Yeah. So they took this all on, and right now it feels like a win.
This is what I don't understand. We're talking to Zack Jackson. He covers the Browns, NFL writer for The Athletic. Has anybody talked about therapy for Deshaun Watson? Because when the judge talks about a pattern of behavior that's egregious, and the behavior was nonviolent sexual conduct with multiple women here, if you're the Cleveland Browns, moving forward, you feel pretty confident that Deshaun Watson is all of a sudden going to learn his lesson?
Yeah, I think there was always a level of trust in the Browns, and there had to be. This isn't deciding which tight end you're going to sign in free agency. This was taking on this player and giving him this contract and signing up for all of this. The therapy counseling thing was broached at the initial press conference multiple times by people with Deshaun, and his answer was his standard: maintain the innocence. And the quote that's kind of lingered was when Andrew Berry was asked if he believed that Deshaun did nothing wrong. He didn't give the direct answer, but I think, like I said, they always knew to some level, and all that changed was the NFL's insistence that this was going to be long. And we'll see, it's 3 days until they can file an appeal, and I kind of see it both ways there. But as of right now, the Browns have to feel like this is what they expected, and they can go forward with their long-term planning.
Anybody miss Baker Mayfield, football-wise?
Zero. In week one, the Browns will see him. But that relationship had just gone so sour. And kind of quickly, but not totally quickly. I mean, Baker's personality is Baker's personality, right? And when the production didn't match, and that was really twice in 3 years, after the big rookie year, it really went sideways. So no, you don't make this move after guaranteeing Baker's $19 million, right? Especially if you're not totally done. And
but if he had gone on the IR, let's say, Zach, and not tried to play through the injury, would he still be there as the Cleveland Browns quarterback, in your opinion?
The fact that they got sign-off from ownership and from every level of the organization to do this indicates no to me. I just think they didn't offer him a contract because they didn't trust him.
Okay.
And I think the Baker Mayfield experience was exhausting. And I'm sure the Aaron Rodgers experience is exhausting for the Packers, but every year he's Aaron Rodgers, right? When the games start, and that's what counts, and that's why the Browns traded for Deshaun Watson.
Oh, have fun today, Zach, and we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.
Just a very normal day here and a very normal offseason.
Of course, Zack Jackson covers the NFL, covers the Browns for The Athletic.